Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to remove these gel extensions. These are the ones from Nail Order. As you can see, they're nice and grown out now. I have had these on for, what day is it today? Wednesday. It will be 4 weeks on Friday, so like 3 weeks and 5 days basically they've been on. This is what they look like. They are perfectly grown out. Nothing wrong with them or anything, no lifting, like just perfect, to be honest with you, so that's good. But yeah, I'm going to show you how I remove them. Not the most exciting video in the world, but hopefully somewhat useful. So first things first, I'm going to get my removal bit. The bit that I'm going to use for this is, let me just dust it off. So I'm going to be using the green smoothie bit from Willow Academy. Let me just go over the bits that I would use for this step, because there is a few that I like to use. So we've got these three here. These three are my go-to bits for this sort of removal, like when I'm removing the bulk of product, because I'm completely removing these, not just infilling or anything. So I've got the green smoothie, the purple willow, and then this one is like the penultimate, which is this one, but it's coarser. I can't remember whether I think it's coarse. I think that's what it is, but I'm not 100%, so just have a look on the website for that. But yeah, these are the three that I'd flip between, depending on which one I fancy using on the day, because they all do the same sort of job. But today, like I said, I'm going to use the green smoothie, which is the gold one. And you can tell by its teeth that it's that sort of bit, because they're quite large, as you can see, and that just means that when it spins quick, it really cuts through product really easily, which you will see in a second. So I'm just going to pop some napkin onto my desk so you can see, well, so I can catch all the dust basically. So I'm just going to start off by first of all getting the light where I need it. I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to start off by just going around the left side, and this bit's nice because it's almost to a point, which makes it super easy to use. So first things first, I'm just getting off the colour, because I want to cut them down a little bit before I really start, just so I'm not filing off product that I don't need to. Like, there's no point me really filing down that free edge to really thin to soak it, when I can just cut it off and not soak it at all, sort of thing. So I'm just doing that. As you can see, this bit is really good for removing a lot of product. Now you can either file down that tip. I don't like to remove length with bits like that, just because it's quite aggressive and I don't want to accidentally take off more than I wanted to and stuff like that. So I'm going to use just bog standard cuticle clippers. Nail clippers is what I was trying to say. And I'm just going to cut just above where the natural nail is, starting from one end and then making my way over to the other. Like so. I will be filing my nails down anyway, so I'm not too bothered about keeping them entirely intact, but I don't want to have them all over the place. So I'm just being a bit careful around them. Like so. And then I'm going to go back in with my efile bit. I'm using it on 23,000 RPMs, by the way. And we're just going to go straight in now and remove the bulk. So you don't want to touch your natural nail with this bit, because it is very coarse and will cause a lot of damage. And you also don't want to stay in the same spot like over and over again, because that is also going to cause a lot of friction and it will burn. So we're just, once we've been over a certain area, we're going to move on to somewhere else. And then if we need to go over that same area again, it's not a problem. You're just giving it a second to cool down by doing somewhere else before you go back to it, basically. Get rid of that bit there. And then as you can see from the side angle, it is nice and thin now. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Take down the bulk of this one now. I've got a really awful habit when I've got extensions on of picking at my natural nail underneath the extension when it grows out. Like I do cut them down for that reason before I have extensions put on. But once they grow out and I can see them underneath, like I do get picking. So that is why you will see lifting on my free edges. It's not anything to do with the enhancement or anything. It's literally just because it's a bad habit of mine. So keep checking it from all angles to see the thickness. You don't want to accidentally file into your natural nail and cause yourself harm. And then we're just going to do that to all 5 of these nails. And then that last little bit will be soaked off, but it won't take very long because obviously we've got it down to a really thin layer, which means that the acetone won't need to stay on as long, because it's not going to take as long for it to penetrate through that gel. And get that bit off there, like so. This free edge here, by the way, is actually extension. It's not my natural nail. Like, it's not really that odd shape, and it's just the extension all rough because I've not took it all off neatly. But just make sure to really pay attention. It's really easy, especially on clients, because obviously you can't feel what they feel. So it's easy to go through the gel, through that natural nail on a client more so than it is yourself, because you'll feel that when you touch your own nail, like you'll sort of know that you've gone too far because it will be a bit tender. Whereas obviously the only way you're going to know you've done that to a client is one, when you look at the nail and it's all red and you know then, or when they jump and say, oh my gosh, like that burn or that hurt or something like that, and then obviously it's too late because you've already done it. So always make sure, if anything, leave a bit more than you want to really, instead of not enough, because if you do go through that sort of too little too late moment. Now the thumb I do a little bit different on myself. I do that same technique on everybody else that I've just done, like cuticle to free edge, but with my thumb I do tend to go more right to left, just because it's easier for me on myself, just with the angle it is doing it on my own nails, that's all. So I'm just not putting pressure on this bit, by the way, like really letting it do its own thing. Again, not staying on the same area, giving it time to cool down while I'm elsewhere on the nail, and then go back to the first area instead of doing the same thing over and over. And once I'm happy, and I know that I've got it thin enough, and I'm going to turn the efile off. Just going to get off any extra dust. And then I like to get a hand file. I'm just using the Nail Order one, and just rough up the surface, because I don't know whether it actually makes a difference, but I always find that the acetone can sort of get in that layer better if it's been roughed up before and there's a rough surface for it to sort of get in between. Like, it's probably a load of rubbish, but I still do it. I've managed to convince myself that it helps, so I'm doing it anyway. And then once I've done that, now these really do, like these Nail Order extensions really do file like butter. Like that process of just taking that off really only takes a couple of minutes before you get down to that really thin layer. As you can see, there's not really a lot left at all. So now we just need to soak that last bit off. So I'm going to get these. I also got these from Nail Order just because I was doing an order with them, but you can get them from anywhere, like Amazon, eBay, different nail supply places and stuff like that. Or you can use like actual foil and bits of cotton pad cut up. Probably would work out a lot cheaper, but I'm just lazy. And then I've got my acetone next to me, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop this bit here on my acetone pump press down a couple of times to soak it, and then once that is saturated I will put it on my nail. So I like to just do it this way, put my nail on top and then fold over and then fold round, and I find that means it's nice and secure then. And then just pinch the tip a little bit just to make sure it's secured. I'm going to do that with all 5. And because we've taken off the majority of the product, like I said, that does cut down your soaking time a hell of a lot than if you were to just like remove the top coat and then soak off the colour and the tip and the base. So I literally just soak for about 8 minutes when it's this thin. And then I'll show you what it looks like when we come out. I've got the rest of a video that I'm in the middle of watching to watch on YouTube while I'm in the process of waiting for this. So I'm going to watch that for the next 7 to 8 minutes, and then I will come back here when it is time to take these foils off and show you what we are working with. So I'm just going to... Thumb's a little bit more awkward, just obviously it's a different angle, but I still do it in the same way. I just do it the other way round. And then push it underneath like so, always making sure to pinch the tips to make sure they're all nice and secure. And then, like I said, I'm going to give this 8 minutes and then I'll come back. Okay, we're back. It's been 8 minutes. I'm going to use this tool here, which is just this triangular sort of thing. It's got a scraper on the other end. This is what it looks like. And I'm just going to go ahead and scrape off any of the gel with this little tool. Please ignore how bendy my nails are. They are always like that. For years of me abusing them in my practicing and teaching myself to be a nail tech from the age of 10 sort of days, but it's fine. I'm just going over with this. And I'm not going to be using, I'm not going to be putting extensions back on this time. I've decided that I'm just going to have, like, because I like to switch it up, which is what I really love about the extensions, is because I decided to not do any infills. Like, I think they say that you can do 1 or 2 or something like that, but don't hold me to that because I'm not 100%, because I didn't really have to look into it because I decided I didn't want to infill them. But like I was saying, because I've decided not to bother to infill them on myself or clients, and I'm just removing them every time, it's really, really good then, because if I have a fancy complete change, like, I know that I'm going to be taking them off. So like now I could have done some really short square ones, or I could have done some longer almond ones, and I just have, or, you know, like I can literally switch it up. Or like I'm going to do this time, I am going to just apply builder gel. So, you know, it's one of them. I don't want to do too much in terms of like prepping, like this sort of stage in this video, because I'm going to be doing that in a separate video when it comes to like actually applying the builder gel. But all I do with these random bits that are like hanging off my nail is just go over with my hand file and just make sure that there isn't any. But obviously that will automatically be done like in the, like, what's it called, like in the process of doing a new set sort of thing, if that makes any sense. So I'm not really worried about these like random bits here and there. But yeah, that is how I remove my nail order extensions basically. So if you want to see my prep routine, then head over to the next video when it is up. And thank you so much for watching this one. Bye.